Lauren, that press conference just wrapping up, but we're learning the injuries that Angela sustained and some of the challenges in the search and rescue operation. We'll show you some video with pictures of Angela and the rescue. Just down the road, there's this huge mudslide, unlike anything I've ever seen. Not just one, but multiple tree stumps pulled out of the ground, roots and all. I just heard from a woman who said she woke up this morning just after 2 a.m. to find water all the way up to the seat of her car, and all the way down this road, houses have seen several feet of water. The vigil is underway, and we'll show you that the gymnasium here is packed with people who were touched by Christian Rosales. It just goes to show how one shooting can make an impact on hundreds of lives. Still a very active investigation, and we're panning to show you some cop cars and civilian cars damaged by the chase, now part of evidence. And because it is an officer involved shooting, this case is now being investigated by the district attorney's office. From here we can see the small plane. I'm going to step out of the way to give you a closer look at what we're looking at. Now, what we know right now is that one person has died in this crash after the plane crashed here at the Marina Airport and was fully engulfed in flames. Now I'm going to show you our aerial view that we have right now in our Eagle Eye cam to give you a better view of this plane. A second shooting happened today just after 6 o'clock. We were here when it happened. There were several shots fired.
Just sticking it out as long as I can.
Jeff lives in the Kashawa area of Carmel Valley. His wife and 2-year-old daughter left when evacuation orders were issued over the weekend, as dozens of bulldozers and fire trucks moved in to get in front of the Sobranes wildfire.
And they cut off the power to some of us, so our wells went out. You know, we can't pump our own water at our places, so that kind of bummed me out. But you can still put up a fight.
Firefighters are using flames in that area to push the wildfire back. And while it's under control, Tuesday's map of the fire shows how hotspots can jump ahead.
Because the embers carried over the perimeter of the fire to another location, it then started burning in advance of the fire. It's those type of conditions that we have to be very cautious about because it can increase the rapid spread of the fire.
Last night, many residents actually stuck around to watch the backburns. They say they could see the flames from their houses over here. And tonight, firefighters are going to continue that work, doing some more controlled burns on the other side of these ridges here, going section by section to connect the dots and push the fire south. Helicopters called heli-torches are throwing fire at designated areas to create a line to stop the fire from going any closer to Carmel Valley.
Ya casi pasó un mes desde que los 43 estudiantes de Iguala, Guerrero, en México, desaparecieron. Las protestas continúan en todo México y alrededor del mundo exigiendo acción por parte del gobierno de Peña Nieto. Estudiantes y profesores de la Universidad de Santa Cruz llevaron a cabo una vigilia esta noche en solidaridad con los guerrerenses.
Tengo primos, tengo familiares, amigos en México que van a la UNAM o que van a la escuela, entonces pensar que eso puede pasar con ellos es algo como te da escalofríos.
Estudiantes del colegio Ayotzinapa no regresaron después de una confrontación con la policía local. Autoridades están investigando conexiones entre los agentes del orden público y un cartel de narcotráfico, los Guerreros Unidos. Estuvo presente en la vigilia de Santa Cruz el padre de uno de los estudiantes secuestrados.
Él se fue a estudiar ahí porque él piensa superarse, porque yo lo cuento vivo. Piensa superarse y luchar ahora sí, en compañía de sus compañeros para salir adelante, que es el bienestar de la familia, el estar bien, estudiar, prepararse para un futuro.
Ángel Eladio Aguirre se separó de su cargo como gobernador de Guerrero, mientras el alcalde de la ciudad de Iguala huyó bajo sospechas de haber sido responsable de este crimen. El paradero de estos universitarios sigue siendo un misterio. Desde Monterrey, Bianca Beltran, Noticias Univisión, Costa Central.
For many, churches provide guidance. They're places to find comfort and redemption. In a city like Salinas, all of that is needed. Cornerstone New Hope Ministry is taking in formerly incarcerated men, giving them jobs, and when work on this place is done, a home.
These guys don't have jobs. You know, they're just going to revert back into their old behaviors.
Jordan knows because he's been there.
Nobody wanted to hire an ex-convict. Nobody, He really gave me a second chance.
It's this kind of work that makes churches valuable in the effort to prevent violence and offer hope to a town with a violent history.
The message of hope is incredibly powerful, and I think what I'm looking forward to the most is seeing the collection of faith leaders, seeing the city officials and representatives all come together, because I think when that begins to happen, Salinas is better for it.
And the city is welcoming the help.
There's certainly strength in numbers, and they're on our team and we're on their team.
With congregations full of people ready and willing to serve, churches are answering the call.
It takes a village to raise a child, right? So everybody needs to come together and work together and figure out and solve these problems.
It was the ride of a lifetime. Happy to be back on the ground, but I mean, just look at my face. That says it all. It was so much fun, and Sean says I pulled 6 G's. I'm pretty proud of that. That's 6 times my body weight, and it was, like I said, amazing. We'll give you a look at what it was like to be in the plane with Sean, but you may want to lower the volume on your TV because I was screaming the entire time.
Sean D. Tucker flies 3 times a day, 400 times a year. He is one with his machine.
When I get in that machine, the wings become my arms, and I'm flying my soul now, and it is so much fun to fly.
I had never been in a plane where I didn't have to fight for the window seat.
All set?
Ready to go.
Before I knew it,
We're flying!
it was breathtaking, and I couldn't help but cry.
I love sharing my joy and love of the skies.
Sean doesn't just fly.
And I front flip, back flip, and tumble and twirl. But what I'm trying to do is choreograph a dance in the sky that people resonate with.
The exciting thing about watching Sean D. Tucker in the sky is you never know what he's going to do next. Woo!
How's that feel?
That was awesome!
You feel good?
As we defy gravity, Sean is cool as a cucumber, but he says he never wants to push the envelope too far.
This very well might be my last California International Air Show in Salinas. I'm hoping not, but it very well be. So it all depends on schedules, but I want to be here.
His one-of-a-kind biplane will be preserved in aviation history, and he is still dreaming big.
Well, I've had a blast in my career. I mean, it's just beyond my wildest dreams to be able to do this for a living, and I love it. And we're making changes. I'm going to do 1 more year as a solo performer in 2018, and I'm starting a team, and I'm going to continue it on and continue the legacy on.
And I still can't believe that he has done that every day for 40 years. He says his next project is still in the planning stages, but he's thinking of hiring ex-Thunderbirds, Blue Angels, and Snowbirds. However it pans out, he wants to keep inspiring young people to chase their dreams, no matter how crazy they may seem. Turning to news out of Washington, you're looking at the White House live right now, where the clock is ticking for the Trump administration to reunite thousands of children with their families. These are some of the kids who came into the United States illegally with parents and loved ones, then were separated from those adults under the zero tolerance policy. That program was introduced in April by Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who said prosecuting all immigrants entering the country illegally would act as a deterrent for others. But it sparked a national outcry, and on June 20th, President Trump signed an executive order to keep families together. But on July 5th, Health and Human Services announced nearly 3,000 children had already been separated from their parents. Now the Trump administration has 4 days to bring those families back together. Action News reporter Matt Pritchard joins us live in Washington with an update on the progress. Matt, good morning. Now to our top story, new information on Tuesday's accidental shooting at Seaside High School. We have recently learned that this likely was not the first time teacher Dennis Alexander brought a gun to class. That's according to students, who also say that on more than one occasion, Alexander let students handle the firearm. Now, a man in Boulder Creek woke up to a wild sight this week, a pair of mountain lions right outside of his bedroom window. It happened early Monday morning when he was on his way to work, and since he couldn't leave his house, he spent the next 20 minutes filming them, of course. Now that video quickly went viral, with many wondering what exactly the animals were up to. Action News reporter Sarah Starks has the details. Now to a story that I'm excited to share with you. A letter written by a little girl to her father, delivered by balloons, has melted hearts across the state thanks to a social media post. In the letter, young Emily tells her dad that she got all A's in school except for a B in PE. Now the letter made it all the way to a woman in Bakersfield who has a daughter the same age as Emily, and after seeing the letter, she was compelled to find her. As it turns out, Emily lives here on the Central Coast, and now her dreams are coming true thanks to this stranger. The tradition started about 3 years ago.
She loved the idea of being able to communicate with her dad.
He passed away when Emily was just 8 years old. She and her mom keep his memory alive with pictures and stories.
He is a big goofball. He loves animals, and he's really funny with the ways that he loves them.
Every year, Emily writes him a letter to let him know how she's doing, letting balloons do the rest.
At first it was really emotional, but now it's a lot more fun because I knew that it would somehow get to him and that he was looking out for me.
Little did she know those balloons would end up over 100 miles away, connecting her with a woman that would make her dreams come true.
And my heart just dropped when I read that letter. I just couldn't imagine my child going through such a loss.
After finding her mom through social media, Veronica is arranging private horse riding lessons for Emily, an activity her dad grew up doing.
I was thinking that the wind, maybe he did that, or maybe he pushed it in the direction to Bakersfield. So it's really cool to know that he's up there looking out for me.
But fate doesn't stop there.
The person that we were able to get her into doing the horse riding lessons with is actually her dad's girlfriend from high school, which will be very, very cool for her because I think she'll learn a lot of different stories and things about Joe from when he was younger as she goes into that age, which will be really nice.
A way to cope with loss turned into a lesson about life.
That even when you lose a loved one, there's more people around you who care, and they will help you get through it.
We got a chance to hear a little bit of Emily's singing voice. She says she wants to be a singer when she grows up, but for now, she's focused on school and says she wants to go to Stanford University.